Good morning. I'm going to be showing you today how to set up, in my opinion, 90% sure that this is the best way to set this up, this Sony 7000 soundbar along with the 55 Sony 55 rear speakers, and hiding back there behind my chair, SW5 subwoofer. Okay, the best settings for this. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube saying that these little speakers for the 55s do not have enough volume. Well, there's a trick to getting the greatest amount of volume out of it, and it's with the settings, with your remote, your remote that comes with the speakers, this AH509U. This remote here is not for the TV. There's a separate one for the TV, and the TV is a Bravia 9, 75-inch Bravia 9. So what you got to do is you go to your, I'm going to try to go kind of slow on this, but you go to your home button on your remote, okay? And then what you want to do is go up here to where it says setup, okay? You select setup. And then you go over here to where it says Advanced Settings. You click on that, okay? And up here at the top, it'll say, it's kind of whited out on this video, but it says Speaker Settings, Configure Speaker Settings, okay? So you select that. And then you should see where it says, well, most of the time what it's going to say is, I don't know why this is so whited out, but it says manual speaker settings value. And then what you would normally do is go down here to see where it says manual speaker settings. Okay, so you go down to that, all right, but there's a trick here. If you come up here to this where it says speaker settings information, and it says sound field optimization value, select it so you can see what happens, okay. You go up and you look up here at the top and it says sound field optimization value, and you look over here and the manual speaker settings are not bright. In other words, they're kind of darkened out. And again, I don't know why, but if it's like that, you're not going to be able to change the manual speaker settings. So you gotta, up here where it says speaker settings information, you have to remote today, make sure it's on manual speaker settings value, okay? And then you'll see where it says, you'll see the manual speaker settings. It says it's lit up now, so now you can select that. Otherwise you can't change the volume or anything on the the back speakers, okay? So now I am going here to manual speaker settings. I'm going to select that, okay? Now this is the trick here. You see it says manual speaker settings, and you got, it says distance to a sidewall, distance to the ceiling, level, test tone, which I don't ever use because I'm not really sure how to use it, but You don't need it. You go to where it says level, okay? You select level, and this is how I've got mine set. You can change the decibel level on all the speakers. You can see the top one says front, and then you got the height speakers, the left and right beam tweeter, the subwoofer, the left and right rear speaker, the height on the right rear and on the left rear, okay? And then over here on this diagram, it'll show you which, when you're selecting them, which ones you're actually doing. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but see where it says, you see the sound bar? Looks like it's showing how music is coming out the sound bar. So you go, you can, showing you whichever one you select, that's what the one that you see on your diagram here. Okay, like that is the left rear, that's the right rear. Okay, now this is how I've got mine set. Okay, I've had this set up now, I guess almost 7 months now, and I've been messing with it just about every other day to my wife's chagrin. But what you want to do is, since everyone's complaining about how the rear speakers don't have much volume, what you do is you go over here, and at the front, at the top, you set the front, the height, the beam tweeter, both beam tweeters. You set all of those to -6. Okay, that means they're going to be playing as low. That's the lowest setting you can set for any of these. So what we're doing is we're setting the sound bar for the lowest level. Okay, and I'll explain why we're doing that in a minute here. But then you want to go down here to the subwoofer and all the rest of them and set them to the highest level. Okay. Now the reason you're doing that is, if you notice on the remote control, you have levels for the rear speakers, and you have a level for the subwoofer, and this is the volume for the entire system. Okay. So by setting it like this, you now can, if for some reason the rear speakers are now too loud, never heard anyone say they were too loud yet, you can cut down the volume on them and cut down the volume on the subwoofer, which I do sometimes. Sometimes the subwoofer can get a little loud. That's the larger of the two subwoofers you can get. So once you have those set like that, and the way you do it is you select which one you're going to do. Let's do the front. We'll do the top one, the front. Okay. You go up there to it. Okay, and then you select it, the middle button right there, or middle button right there with the plus sign. Okay, you select it. Okay, and then you see how you got an up arrow and a down arrow. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm not seeing it on my phone, but you select that, and then you go either up. See, I'm going up. That's going to increase the level. But what you want to do is you want to set them all down. The front soundbar is going to be all down. Now, it's not going to be silent. You might be thinking, oh, set it at the lowest level, it's not going to be silent. No, it's not. Okay. All right, so once you got the top four -6 and the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 +6, you're good to go. Okay, so then you go back, hit your back button on your remote, okay, And I'm not going to go into that in this video, but if you want to set the distance the speakers are from where you're sitting, or you want to set the distance to the walls or to the ceiling, you can do that here. But as I said, I'm not going to show you that on this, because really it's going to depend on where you got your speakers. So in relationship to where you're setting, okay? So now you keep going back, you go back, pressing the back button again, okay? And now we're gonna go up here, go on, nope, went backwards, sorry. Go up, up. Manual speaker settings again, okay? Change that back to sound optimization value, okay? Sound optimization value, okay? And then you go to where it says sound field optimization, all right? And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the manual speaker settings are now not as bright as the other ones, meaning it's back to how it was where you can't adjust them. They've already been adjusted, so now you don't need to worry about that. But you go to sound field optimization value, and you go down to at the top it says speaker settings information, sound field optimization value. Now you can adjust the sound field optimization. This is an automatic thing that it does. So you go down that, you select that, okay? And then you see this screen, and you press start. Now what it's doing is it's arranging the sound field so that you're supposed to be kind of like in a dome, okay? I don't know why it stopped. It's never stopped before. Might have been because I was talking, because usually you gotta be quiet. Let me stop. This canceling sound field optimization. All right, we're gonna try it again. This time I'm not gonna say nothing, so. Wow, well that's something. Going completely back. All right, we're going to home again. Jeez. This is like typical. You go to show someone something, and it's worked every time except for the time you go to show it to them. All right? Maybe the batteries are bad in this thing. Gee whiz. Okay.